Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Got some Steelers news going on. As you guys seen, Cam Sutton, of course, get signed by the Steelers a few hours ago. They expected to sign Cam Sutton. As you know, Cam Sutton's a good player from a play standpoint. Now, from the off the field, you know, he had the issue where he was running from the police, had domestic violence issue that happened and stuff that happened with him and stuff. And you know, you can't go around beating on people. You know, you can't go around beating on anybody like that. So if he do get suspended for the first few games or fined or something, is rightfully so. Like that, with Cam Sutton, from a player perspective, from a standpoint of his play, good player. You know, he was good with us. The only reason he left our team because I think we couldn't really pay him the money he was looking for. He went to the Lions and searched the free agency market a little bit and shot himself out around. And then he went to the Lions, and the Lions, you know, the Lions played pretty solid too. So we're going to see what happens. The Steelers need another cornerback added to the roster. Now, from a standpoint of publicity, it might not be a good look of signing a guy like Cam Sutton after the stuff that happened. But from a standpoint of his play, he's a good player. Good player. We're going to see if he can turn it around and get it together. As you guys know, JPJ is already on the team. We got Dante Jackson via trade from Jesse Johnson, the trade we did for the Panthers. Dante Jackson is a solid player. JPJ, I think, is good. He can merge himself to being Pro Bowl level, all Pro level cornerback with the skills he has, and the ability to play man-to-man coverage and play press coverage and be physical as well, and the arm length he has as well. And you add, of course, Cam Sutton to that mix as well. Corey Trice is a guy who come off an injury. Last year in training camps, they was highly graded. It was liking the way he looked. He could have been probably a fourth-round pick last year, but he kind of fell to, I think, the 6th, 7th round because of the injury that happened to him in college. And he got injured in training camp as well. So I think Corey Trice could be a nice additional piece. I think Sullivan is still on the team, if I'm not mistaken. And let me know in the comments if I am mistaken. But we have a nice little core of cornerbacks on our team. You know, some nice guys on our team. So we're going to see how this pans out and how this plays out. But let's move on to the next topic. The quarterback competition is still heating up. You see Russell Wilson and Justin Fields out there playing. Now, I think Russell Wilson is going to be the guy, you know, to start the season. And I think he's going to do a pretty good job. But I think Justin Fields, we might see him on different spots. We might see him maybe, hopefully, my perfect scenario to see him actually would be the Steelers already clinch a playoff spot, and in the last game we kind of rest our starters and Justin Fields come out there and we can see how he look at that last game and kind of build on for next year. I think he's going to be the starter next year, but I think this year they want him to sit and learn and kind of get better and better and kind of take a step back a little bit. I think it's going to be good for him in the long run too, because he's only 25 years old too. He's very young, so we're going to see him go out there perform. Now, Russell Wilson plays bad or he had an injury and something happened, then we're going to see him a little earlier. So we're going to see what happens truly in this competition, this QB competition right here. Now, Russell Wilson not slick. I know what he was trying to do too as well. He's talking we can use Justin Fields in a slasher role. We can put him out there. He can do a lot of different things to hurt defenses. He can be like a running back or a receiver, tight end, can do kickoff returns, as long as he don't take snaps as a quarterback. I'm like, nah, Russ, you're not slick. You're trying to get him to do all this extra stuff. Nah, he's gonna be a quarterback. We got him here for being a quarterback. To play quarterback, he's gonna keep putting that pressure on you over and over in training camp so you can get better, and so he can be better as well. Got to be competing for that spot every single time. Nothing is guaranteed. You know, a lot of players come in entitled too much. You know, entitled to certain spots. And like even the greatest players of all time, like Tom Brady, he's always saying he never felt entitled to the spot. He always felt like somebody was gunning for his spot because he had a chip on his shoulder. He said could be in the 5th round, he was a 5th, 6th round pick. Being that like late in the draft, being the last quarterback taken in his draft class, and, you know, being the guy who was overlooked like that in college too as well. Because in college he did a lot of digging his team out the dirt multiple times. You know, he came out there to call him the comeback kid, and he came back and beat Alabama. So like all these different things he was doing, and he still was overlooked. So he said he always had the chip on his shoulder. Even when he got to the when he won 4 Super Bowls and 5 and 6, and then 7 Super Bowls, he always had the chip on his shoulder that somebody was gunning for his spot. And you got to play like that to get better, to stay better, and to keep getting more improvement in your game. You gotta play like that. You gotta have that mentality of like somebody always coming for your spot and somebody always gunning for you, just to keep competing and, you know, competing with everybody like that, and that just makes everybody better in the whole. But I think the QB competition is very good, healthy competition for the team. Both guys are buying into it. Both guys are ready and competing for the spot, and we're gonna see a new look Steeler offense, I think, coming this season. Moving on to the next topic, of course, Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward made it to OTAs. You know, Cam Hayward, I don't think he was holding out fully, but you know, he's a veteran. Like, they made a big news of it because the contract situation that was going on, because like, he needed a new contract extension. They kind of made that into the news of it a little bit. But really, a lot of the veteran players don't really play the OTAs all the time. Some veteran players do, but some veteran players don't like that, and that's league wide. You know, that happens. Like, it's not mandatory for you to do that. So Cam Hayward, he's back now. Went out there yesterday and doing some drills with them and stuff. You know, he's a very good player. You know, multiple-time Pro Bowler, multiple-time All-Pro. They ranked him 5th on PFF list of the top interior D linemen out of 32. He's a very good player when he's healthy. He's one of those guys who's a stable up front, a leader on the team, good in the run game, good at pass rushing and bringing pressure as well. I think he's second all time. I think he's second or third all time. I think he's second all time and Steelers sack leaders in history of the franchise. So yeah, so Cam Hayward's a very good player. He's I think in my opinion, he could be a Hall of Famer, not first ballot, but you know, I think he'd be a Hall of Famer eventually, especially if he get one of those Super Bowls too. Super Bowls don't really matter fully to defensive players, but I want to see this core team like with TJ Watt, the Minkas, the Cam Hayward win a Super Bowl. I feel like these guys have put so much to the team and put so much and left so much on the line and put everything out there for the team that they kind of like earning themselves to get the Super Bowl. So hopefully we can get it within this window right here. Getting the quarterback, got these pieces we added on offensive line, add these pieces we added on defense, and see if we can get to that level. Now let's address, of course, the receiver rumors. A lot of the trade rumors about the receivers. We see a lot of those news circulating around. People talking about Brandon Ayuk, of course, as a guy who has been named and thrown around. The Steelers should be able to get him. You know, I guess he looked like Coach Tomlin, and they said they was like twins out there. They said, hey, we should go out there and get Brandon Ayuk. He's I think on the 25 years old. 25 years old. Very flashy. Every year he got better and better. Speed. Playmaker, athleticism, his route running ability is amazing. He can be a good receiver. I think he might be receiver one. If he came to Pittsburgh, I think he might be better than George Pickens a little bit. Receiver one. So add a guy like that would be very good. But it's gonna cost you a lot. It's gonna cost you a big amount of money. I don't think the 49ers want to trade I think they might probably trade Deebo Samuel faster than they trade Brandon Ayuk, I think. And Deebo Samuel's another guy too who's cool as well. Had the injury history a little bit the past few years. But I don't know if the Steelers will be able to do that. I think the 49ers are going to keep all their guys together and they're going to be all hands on deck to try to win the Super Bowl this year. Another guy was the name flown around a lot too was DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is a good player, but I don't think the Seahawks will trade him. Tyler Lockett is a little older too now. I don't think the Seahawks will trade DK Metcalf, a guy who's a young receiver who's part of their core, who's getting better and better as well. I don't think they'll trade him. And plus, his play style is kind of similar to that of a George Pickens as well. And Courtland Sutton, his might be the most reasonable one because it wouldn't require you too much to trade for him. But in reality, the Steelers might just roll with what they got. Now, if they do trade for Courtland Sutton, that'd be cool and all, but just roll with what you got. You got, of course, the guy in George Pickens. You got Roman Wilson. You drafted him in the third round. I think it was third round or fourth round. I think third round. Yeah, third round, fourth round, whatever it was. You drafted him. You got Calvin Austin as well. You got Van Jefferson, Cordell Patterson, Quez Watkins. You got a lot of group of guys. Let's see how those guys pan out. You never know what can happen like that. Let's see how those guys pan out, how these guys kind of play in the offense, and just go from there. We'll see what happens in the end. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the news that's going on, about the Cam Sutton signing, about the receiver trade rumors, and about, of course, the QB competition between Russ and Fields. It's getting very good. You know, right now we're kind of been like a news outlet, almost like just seeing the news and different things going on. I can't wait till like training camp starts fully so we can kind of get to that preseason level, and then you get the preseason games, and then the regular season. That's when things really kick off. So stay tuned in, stay locked in, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.